Hey everybody, I'm DBSTCG Central. I want to welcome you to another deck profile video. If you guys saw the thumbnail, you guys saw today that we're doing Meta Cooler Core Ultimate Power. Really cool leader. I actually was going to make a casual deck with the old reboot leader that they had come out. Then this guy came out and I was like, okay, we can be a little bit competitive here. And then I saw a few competitive builds online and I took inspiration from those. And I think it's a really cool deck and it's really fun to play. So I'll show you what he does and we'll go from there. So on his Unawakened side, he's Meta Cooler. When this card is placed in your leader area, activate up to one Big Getty Star Nightmarish Regeneration from your deck. He's got another auto here. You burst 2, add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, play up to 1 Infinite Multiplication Meta Cooler from your deck, and then you shuffle your deck. Self-Awakening is really good. When your life is at 4 or less, you may draw 1 card, then play up to 1 Infinite Multiplication Cooler, Meta Cooler from your deck, and then from your drop area, I'm sorry, and then flip this card over. And then on his Awakened side, Meta Cooler Core Unlimited Power. Permanent while there are 20 or more Infinite Multiplication Coolers in your energy area, battle area, and or drop area, this card gets plus 5,000 power. So it's kind of like an everlasting Sensu Bean. So defensively, you'll be a 20k. It'll hard for your opponent to get through. Auto, when this card attacks, draw 1 card, then play up to 1 Infinite Multiplication Cooler from your deck, and then shuffle your deck. As you can tell by the leader, we're going to be spamming out Meta Coolers like crazy. So I'll show you how we do it. I'll show you how many are good to run, and I'll show you what I got in this deck. First of all, when you put him in the leader area, it brings out this card here. It's a field card, Big Getty Star, Nightmarish Regeneration. So it's got a permanent when this card is also treated as a Big Getty Star in all areas. So it has the tag of Big Getty Star no matter what. So you can use some old support for this deck if you want to go, because I'm going green, yellow, but you could do all sorts of different things. There's red coolers. There's all sorts of stuff. So active main, burst 1. So you put 1 card from the top of your deck into your graveyard, and then you pay 1 energy. Switch this card to rest mode. Look at the top 3 cards at the top of your deck. Play up to 1 Infinite Multiplication Meta Cooler among them, and then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So you pay 1, you burst 1, you look at the top 3, and you play a Meta Cooler if you see one. We run a lot of Meta Coolers, so we don't usually whiff, and I'll show you after. Active main, for 1 green, 1 yellow, and 2 of any color. Place 1 Meta Cooler Core card from your hand under this card. Play up to 1 Meta Cooler Core from your deck or drop area on the top of this card, and then shuffle your deck if you look through it. I'll show you how we abuse this. We kind of use this to go for game, and I'll show you how we do it. Okay, the first Meta Coolers that we run are Meta Cooler Multiplying Threat. So this is just a Self-Awakener to help us get to 4 life if we need to rush there, or if your opponent's not attacking. So these just really come in handy. Plus, it puts out another Meta Cooler. So when add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck and play up to 1 Infinite Multiplication Meta Cooler from among them in rest mode. Shuffle your deck, and then this card gets plus 10,000 power for the turn. So it turns into a 15k attacker. It helps you self-awaken. Plus, you get to play a Meta Cooler Infinite Multiplication Meta Cooler from your deck in rest mode. So it helps you spam the board a little bit more. Now we have some shenanigans here. It's not about, even if it comes in rest mode, we have things we can do with it. I'll show you exactly what we can do. All right, so like I said, you got to run a pretty decent amount of Infinite Multiplication Coolers. So we run 8 for the color count. Green Infinite Multiplication Cooler. If you don't know what it does, it's got a permanent. You can include as many copies of this card in your deck as you like. So you're not restricted to only running 4 because, with all the other cards in the game, you can only run 4 of in your deck. This allows you to run as many as you want. So I run 8 of these. I'll put it in a big stack so it doesn't take up too much room. So I run 8 of the green. And then they came out with some new yellows, but I had more of the old originals, but they work just the same. Right here, we run 12 infinite multiplication meta coolers yellow. So you got a total of 20 infinite multiplication coolers. It's a lot. It's a hefty load for the deck, but for how much we spam them and how much we need to see them off the top, it's really, really a good amount. I've seen decks running 25. So I think 20 is the right number. So the next card that we run, it's a 4 of. This card here is Meta Cooler Enhanced Menace. So this is an SR here. And what it does is it has energy exhaust because it's a dual color. It's a green-yellow. It's a blocker. It's got a permanent, if you have a meta cooler in play, negate this card's any energy exhaust in all areas. So if you need a multicolor energy to get a green down or to get a yellow down, you could play this in your energy, no problem. You're always going to have a meta cooler out, so it's not going to be an issue. When this card is played from your hand, look at the top 7 cards at the top of your deck, and you can play up to 3 infinite multiplication coolers from among them in rest mode, and then shuffle your deck. So this card really comes in handy, and it's clutch, and it acts as a check land also. So when you play it, if you want to put it in your energy, if you have a meta cooler out, it comes in active mode, so you don't have to worry about it. You'll have a green or a yellow energy. It's really, really, really good. Some of the other cards that we run, this is for consistency because we do run a lot of the same card. We want to see other cards. Meta Cooler Newfound Foe. So this is a rare from the new set. Energy Exhaust Successor for 4. So you would just use 2 of your meta coolers that were out. Even the ones in rest mode you can use. So it's really good. Active May limit 1. If your leader is a meta cooler and you discard this card, if your leader is a meta cooler and you discard this card, add 1 meta cooler card from your hand. Oh wait, am I reading this wrong? Limit 1. If your leader is a meta cooler card and you discard this card and 1 meta cooler card from your hand, look at the top 7 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 2 meta cooler or meta cooler core cards from among them to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So you discard this card and another meta cooler card, and then you can go get another meta cooler card or a meta cooler core card off the top 7 of your deck. So it also has an active main is limit 1. Choose up to 2 meta cooler cards in your battle area, and they get 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. So if you want to play them and you want to buff up for an attacker for 1 successor, and then you can buff up 2 of them and have 2 20k attackers, which is not really what I use it for. I use it for the discard effect, so I could find certain meta cooler cores and meta coolers that I have in my deck. So I'll show you which ones we get. So 3 of those just for consistency. And the first ones that I go and grab are these guys. These are the MVPs of the deck here. It's a rare Meta Cooler Core, the Collective. It's searchable off of this guy. It's got Energy Exhaust, but it's got Successor 3. So permanent Meta Cooler cards in your battle area gain blocker. Super defensive. You're going to be swarming the board with so many Meta Coolers that a little defense would not hurt, obviously, but you also have your energy open a lot too. But to have these guys be able to block and save you from attacks, it's crazy. It's almost like you're running a Bulma deck. So what it does here is auto, when you use this card's Successor skill, place 4 skill to place 4 or more battle cards in your drop area. Play up to 4 multiplication meta coolers from your deck or drop area and shuffle your deck after you look through it. So it's Successor 8. All these guys are 2 drops. So you play this guy, and if you get rid of 4 meta coolers, you get to play 4 more, and then they all get blockers. So you play this guy for 3, Successor 3. He's 35k attacker, and then while he's out, all your meta coolers get blocker. So you'll have a ton of blockers, and when he comes out, he replaces the ones that he sacked. So he is a super, super strong card for this deck. It's really, really good. I run 4 because we do some shenanigans with metal cooler cores, but also to see him all the time is really good. You could have multiple on the board and you're just spamming them out. And it brings out more and more coolers, puts them in your drop. If you need to get 20 to get to this ability, it really helps with that. Some other cards that we run for some shenanigans. Well, I'll get to another cooler core first. So one of our game enters, we can use it with this ability here on the field card. Active main for 1 green, 1 yellow, and 2 colorless. Place 1 meta cooler core from your hand under this card. Play up to 1 meta cooler core from your deck or drop area on top of this card, and then shuffle your deck if you look through it. So what we're going to commonly do is, the reason we run 4 of these is we'll take one of these and we'll shove it under there. And then once it's under there, on turn 4, we play 4 energy. And then we go and get this guy. I play 2, so we don't get one stuck in our life. Infinite Force Meta Cooler Core. So this is an older card from like set 2, believe it or not. It's got an active battle. Place 1 meta cooler from your battle area in the drop area. This card gets 5k power for the duration of the turn. So say you swing with all your meta coolers and then you play this guy. You can sack them all to give them plus whatever. So, you sack, 10 of them, he'll get plus 5,000, 50,000. You know what I mean? So it's really, really, really crazy. It gets insane. So he can be really big. You can swing with him. But he's got another ability here. Auto, when you play this card or when it attacks, if a big Getty star is under this card, choose up to 2 meta coolers from your drop area, and then you play them. So this card acts as a big Getty star, so that this ability can go off. When it comes in, it plays 2 multiplication cooler. It plays 2 meta coolers. Sorry, it doesn't even have to be the multiplication one. So it plays 2 meta coolers from your drop area. And when it comes into play and when it attacks, it plays 2 more from your drop area. So a little shenanigan that we run is we run 3 of these guys here. They're an older card. I believe they're from set 2 also. Yeah, so these are set 2. Awakening Core Meta Cooler. Evolve for 4. In a pickle, you can evolve onto another one to get this ability. But it has a permanent. If your opponent's life is at 4 or less, your Meta Cooler leader can activate its Awaken. So that's just an alternate awakening if you need to. Permanent, all meta coolers in your battle area gain double strike. So if you have about 10 meta coolers out or whatever, you can give them all double strike with this card here. So it's definitely, and then you're putting a lot. So you're putting 4 out with this guy. So when you play him, you put 2 out, and when you attack, you put 2 out. And then when he comes in, you play this guy for first turn, and then they'll all have double strike. Never mind whatever else you have on the board, just this little combo here will be devastating. So we burst in this deck with the leader too. So when we burst, it's real common that we get this in there, but also we could search this guy out with this guy here and get him in our hand, combo him away, or do whatever we need to. We dormant potential, so we need to drop a card. We could do it that way, just get him in the drop area so that this ability can go off. So really, really crazy finisher. People don't really expect or see coming because they're just not used to it. All right. Also, we do run Unisons in here. So we run Mecha Frieza Back from the Abyss. Now, this is really good too. You can play him for free. That's why I opted for this guy, because he's got a permanent here where when playing this card, you can pay its energy cost by using infinite multiplication coolers in your battle area as energy. So you could tap them and use them to pay his energy. +1, you discard a card from your hand. Your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. Not fond of the +1, but it's good to get these in your drop area, or you could just get rid of some more of these. I just kind of bring them out You could tap as many coolers as you want and put a lot of counters on them. So I usually do that, especially if they floodgate me. I'll use all my coolers. All my coolers, and I'll tap them as much as possible, and then I'll put this guy out with like 8 counters or 7 counters or so, and it's hard for them to get rid of it. But also, it makes my dormant potentials and my freezes live, which I'll get to next. So he's a good leader if you use him correctly. If you need them to discard. But his +7 is actually really doable too, because I'll put that many counters on him. Like, say they floodgate me and I have about 10 meta coolers out. I'll tap them all. I'll put 10 counters on them. Next turn, I can do the -7 here. And it's choose up to 3 of your opponent's cards in their hand and or battle area and place them in their owner's drop area. So you can make them discard 3 cards if you have enough coolers out. So it's really, really strong. I don't really revolve around the hand destruction aspect of it, but it definitely helps to get 3 cards out of their hands. Or if they have some battle cards, you can get rid of them too. So we run 3 charismatic villains because this happens like turn 2, maybe turn 3 you'll play him. And then you can play this guy here because we like to rush in the beginning and then start getting defensive when they can't handle it, or if they try to get you on a snapback or something. Then we run 3 dormant potential, a really good floodgate here. If you don't know what it does, if your opponent attacks, you can play this and you can discard a card, and then they can only attack 1 more time for the turn. So really, really strong here. And if you don't know what charismatic villain does, if you have a Unison out, it can play for free. Same with dormant potential. And then when it comes in, it's a counterplay. When your opponent plays a battle card with energy cost 7 or less, you can play this and then KO it when it comes into play. So really strong counterplay. I run 2 homicidal clothes. Free negates, doesn't hurt. It helps also if your opponent likes to keep you at 5 life, but you also self-awaken. So if you just want to turbo your awaken, these are really good on your opponent's turn. You could take a life if your life is at 5 or less, and then negate the attack, and then it plays a blocker token. So if your opponent has another attack, you could block. Barrier removal for this deck. So we run some Successor here because we have so many little swarmy 2-drops or whatever. So we sack 3 of those little guys, and then for a green and a yellow, this has an auto when you Successor it in. When you play this card with Successor, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, KO it, and then your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and places it in their drop area. So that is really strong. It kind of helps them get some more cards out of their hands. And then it's got another auto here that when this card is removed from your battle area by opponent's skill or KO'd, you can draw 3 cards. So this really helps fill up your hand. This becomes pesky. It's a 25k attacker, and they have to deal with it every turn. They're going to try to get rid of it. And if they do, then you get to draw 3 cards. So really, really good. Also, it removes something with barrier. So super strong. And the super combo I opted for, I did the Sell the Awakened. So this is the new one from set 17. It acts as like the Nappa. You combo with it at any time. There's no life restriction or anything. You can combo with it right off the bat. And once you combo with it, you get a 10k plus, and then this gets played in your battle area. So this just helps with Successor, but also it you could combo again with it from your battle area to give yourself another 10k boost. So it really helps with defense. I might switch to the Vegeta that puts out the blockers. Oh no, I'm sorry, not that one. I was thinking about putting the Dr. Gero in there so that I could put more meta coolers in my drop that I need, but I think that this one works a little bit better. Also, you could run the Gohan to put more to siphon through your deck. So they're all options. I just opted for this one. I thought it was really good. And then it also helps because just in case if I need to get Successor going, I run, Cell, Abominable, whatever his name is, the best SCR in the game pretty much. What he does is if you're at 5 or more life, you could play, let me read him. Yeah, he's got Quadruple Strike, Deflect, and Successor. Obviously energy exhaust because he's dual color. If you have 5 or more energy, when you play this card, choose up to 3 of your opponent's 3 cards in your opponent's hands and place them in the drop area, and then this card gets dual attack. So it's a dual attack quadruple strike, and your opponent drops 3 cards when you play him. So he's really good. And he's Successor 10. So you would just need to get rid of 5 of your infinite multiplication coolers or whatever else you have on the board, like your super combos or these guys or your 7-drop, whatever you need. And then he comes out and he wins the game for you. You just got to get to turn 5 with it. But that's the deck. I hope you guys like it. It's really, really fun. It's just finding the right ratios for everything. But once you do that, it's really smooth. And making it competitive, and then making the new leader, I didn't even expect it. But when they did, I was like, wow, I'm like, it can actually be competitive now. I'm also thinking about running the other Frieza that came out, the one that when it has in power 4, and when it comes in with 4 more markers or something like that, it board wipes. So that I might throw in 1 or 2 of in here, and I can just empower it on top of this guy, which is crazy. And then and that's a whole nother level. That's like a board wipe that I was thinking about. But other than that, this deck works really, really cool, consistent. Like, I played it online a lot, and I was having such a blast with it. And I'm going to take it to my locals. Unfortunately, it's championships today, so I can't mess around with a cool, fun, like, an experiment with this thing and get it to work perfectly. But I have to play a really meta deck today. It's going to be a hard day. It's going to be a struggle. But I'm DBS TCG Central. I appreciate you guys watching the video, and like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely leave comments below, because all the feedback I'm getting, I love it, and it really helps me out, and I hope it helps you guys. And I also have an eBay if you guys are looking for any cards. I have a Facebook and Instagram. Feel free to check them all out. I'll leave links in the bio below. And then, yeah, I hope you guys like the deck video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.